and make sure there's not something we need to hear. Okay, no, we're good. Okay. Good to go. Got our phones off. We're good.
I did. I did. When it was 2014. Probably 2014, and I read Power of Now. And when I read that book, it not only did I read that book for the first time, but I went home the next day and I read it again, and then the third day I read it again. And I was reading this book and going, "Oh my God, this person, I'm 39 years old. I'm maybe 40, and for the first time I'd found for the first time I'd found relief. Relief outside of fixing things. It said in the book to he spoke in the book about being present. Um, and he spoke about pain. And when I read the book and it said pain is resistance to what is, and it began to talk about this position that I'd never heard of before. And he was saying that we could observe our thinking. And for me, it was the ball game. I said I could have this level that I didn't really see any of my friends or family know about. It was almost secret information. I know my father didn't really identify with that. And I went, he said that we are not thought, we are the observer of thought. And to me, I'm fascinated by this because it began this thing where I would get in my car and I would breathe because he told me to breathe. And I needed it, man. I needed to take those breaths and I needed relief from thought. I needed that interruption. I've been chasing drugs and trying to interrupt thought for years with drugs. And now I'm sober and I'd realized over the 2 years in sobriety, I'd never interrupted thought. Hey, you guys, for tonight, please, I'm trying to recreate something tonight. So a little distracting with the cell phones. If you could just be present with me for a second tonight. Put them in your pocket. No, no, not even have them out. Um, we used to say two things when we did a group, and our groups used to be pretty intense. And there was just two rules. You have to be present. You had to tell the truth to the best of your ability. So we'd say we need two things in this room to have a good group. We need truth and presence. And tonight, I think more than ever, we need truth and we need presence. And we need relief from from our thoughts for a second, and to come in here and go, let's get a little relief and let's focus on what's going on right now. And he told me in this book, he said, it's like, you know, for me, what I got it as is that my whole life, what I'd been doing is I'd been taking a bite of an apple, but I'd only been eating the corner of the apple and just getting a little nibble. And life was like this full bite that I could take if I just was present to it. If I just gave my total attention to what I was doing. When I met Ange, I was about probably 2 years or maybe a year into my practice. I used to literally do things like fill up a water glass, and I would go to the thing and turn the faucet on as slow as I could and watch the glass fill up. And I would just do that because that would give me a break from thought. Now, back then, no one was talking about mindfulness. They were talking about it just wasn't something really that people were into. It was like Buddhism wasn't a thing. No one was into it. It became the wave, and back then they called it. They coined the term for it about 2 years after I started studying. They said it's called McMindfulness. So is this, in America, we couldn't have full mindfulness. We needed to have this little short version of it. Just figure it out real quick. You don't need to get into a practice or anything. You just need to, but I delve full into meditation and the practice and going, okay, I'm got to be in here with these thoughts, and I've got to learn how to get relief without drugs. And God, this is good. I can actually do it. I can, if I practice, if I try, I can breathe. Well, it led me to something. It said, it led me to the difficulty of it. You see, because I practiced over and over being present, but something was wrong. I couldn't do it all the time. There was something that was stopping my presence. And what it was always relationship or life stuff that, I had an interaction with this human being. And after the interaction, my head was occupied with the resentment of how it went with that human, or, what I should have said and how come they said this to me. But for the most part, what was happening was victimization. I felt like a victim, and it would it would take over my mind and close my heart. And I think that, and so then it became this thing where I need to free my mind and be present so that I can open my heart back up. I need to open my heart back up. And there became an acknowledgement for me that I lived in two phases. Sometimes my heart was closed. God, I took my son to, I'm just brave on Sunday. I go, I'm just going to take little A and we're going to go out to breakfast, and so I throw little A into the car and we go up, and I get him in I pack him into the restaurant and I stuff him in his seat. And real quickly I figure out I don't have enough toys for this kid. And he's starting to grab shit off the table. And, the salt and pepper shaker's getting turned upside down. He's eating the crayons that they gave us. And I'm getting in trouble here. I mean, like I'm getting in real trouble. I'm in a situation that I don't know how to really navigate out. I'm finding myself asking the woman at the table across, hey, can you just watch him for a second while I fucking, I'm like, can you just please watch this kid for a second. Just make sure he doesn't plop out of this high chair. I'm going to run out to the car, get him some toys. But, little A's starting to get a little more aggressive, and he's starting to see he's in charge, and I'm trying to stuff down a few bites of my food, and he's, and then I give him some eggs and he just throws them onto the ground. So now there's a pile of eggs developing, and I'm in trouble, and I know I'm in trouble, and I don't know the way out. And this kid is baby Hercules. He's like, it's hard for me to admit that my 1-year-old is stronger than me, but it might be true. So now I grab him, and I haven't even eaten my breakfast. It's sitting there, but I got to get out because he had a full meltdown right in the middle of this restaurant. He's done. And I grab him out of the thing and I'm taking him out to the car. And now, I'm trying to put him in the car seat, but he's got this thing that he does where he bends his whole body. And you ain't bending him back. It's, he's, and by the way, he's not fucking listening. Like, it's this kid's, I'm like, Arthur, hey. And he's just gone, and I find my heart closing to my son. I find anger starting to develop towards my son. I can feel the like protection inside of me protecting myself from my son and saying I need to do something about this. And so, very come on in.
He's over here. Oh, hey, Crystal, what's up?
Have a seat. There's
We'll come right.
Yeah,
Yeah.
You got a chair right here.
Yeah.
The red chair right here.
Hey, Crystal, what's up?
Oh, is-
It's cool. It's my Crystal. You must have just flown in from.
Yes. Good. Sorry about that.
So, anyways, so I can, even to my son, I can, even with my own son who's 1 years old, I can find myself almost in some kind of closed heart position, and really not responsible for the relationship with my son. And that's very quickly that can happen where I'm feeling right and he's wrong, and I kind of make him out to be wrong, and I don't really take responsibility. And for me, what's happened in the last couple of years is I would say that there was a point where I wasn't getting the returns on my practice that I thought I should get, meaning my open heart wasn't getting me out of life what I thought it should get me. And you know, being present to life wasn't getting me what I thought I could do. And so I set out, you set out and you try to make a difference, and you try to either change someone else, or you try to change a situation, or you try to fix what you think's wrong. And lo and behold, you're caught in a little experience where maybe it's been 6 months, or maybe it's been 8 months, or maybe it's been a year, where your heart hasn't been open and you haven't felt love. And because you've been trying to make an impact on this situation, or this person did something that you think is wrong, or or they're doing something that is wrong, because you feel this wrongness in your life, you aren't really present to your life, and you have this situation that you're dealing with. And really, you can go through this process that even I go through, of closing my heart to the people around me, not just the person that I'm dealing with. It's not like you can deal with a difficult person and have a closed heart and then go home to your family and just be open hearted. You see, because when you have a closed heart to anyone on this planet, you then have a closed heart to almost everyone on this planet. And so your heart doesn't just open and shut from person to person. If you've been hurt over here, if you're wronged in a situation, or you feel resentment over here, you go home and you don't express any love towards your family, and you don't express love towards, even if I go home and I've had a rough day, it's very tough for me just to look at my son and go, oh, and be filled with love and shower him with love, because I'm still closed my heart to what I've just been dealing with out here. So I see my son and he makes me laugh a little bit, but really my head's on what I'm dealing with over here. I'm not showing my son the same love that I need to show him, and my heart's closed to him, and my heart's closed to my wife, because really when I'm with my wife, I'm thinking about this situation and how it's wrong, and how this person needs to change and they've wronged me, or the Democrats need to change and they've wronged me, or Trump needs to change and he's wronged me. And I feel like in America right now, nobody gives a shit about loving kindness. Nobody. I challenge anyone to find a kind person right now. I challenge anyone to find a forgiving person right now. I challenge anyone that hates Trump, that's trying to forgive him. I challenge anyone that's against the Democrats to try to forgive them. I try anyone that doesn't agree with you to try to forgive. I try to find one person throughout my day that's practicing some type of responsibility for a relationship, dealing with resentment, or trying to open their heart back up to somebody they disagree with, and I can't. And what I'm finding is that America, what we're doing as a society, as a community, is we are just closing our hearts to everyone that don't agree with us. And for me, I'm as guilty as ever, being against people, being not forgiving, not open in my heart. And I've forgotten about my own practice, and to say, wow, that person disagrees with me, and I can't seem to find anything I like about them, but they're human, and I need to open my heart and forgive them and try to communicate. And that's just, especially for us, we're sitting in this room and we've been through what we've been through. And, you know, it's so important that our heart's not hardened. It's so important that we don't need relief through substances, because we're so tired of not experiencing love. We're so tired of not experiencing presence, so we'll do anything to get it. I'll take drugs just so that I can forget about everything, so I can be present and watch a movie. That's what I used to do. And I see people now not practicing keeping an open heart, not practicing. So, what does a process look like? Well, if your heart's closed to somebody, you got to talk to them. There's just no other way around it. If your heart's closed to somebody, you've got to acknowledge it and go, yeah, I have hatred in my heart towards that person. I have resentment towards that person. I have anger. I'm making them wrong. I'm like saying you're wrong and I'm right and I win. And that's it. And that's final. Well, how many people on the planet can we do that with? How many people right now can you cut out of your life? You see your friend's Facebook post and they say they hate Trump or they like Trump, either one, and you just go, done, hate them, don't like them anymore. And one by one, we're just living this life now where no one's practicing loving kindness, no one's practicing forgiveness, no one's practicing open their heart and saying, hey, you're human and I'm human, let's talk about it and connect. And no one's practicing this thing of going, wait, 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 I have a major problem. See, it was this level. Eckhart told me that I could rise above myself and I could watch myself. And I went, whoa, like a dog doesn't have that ability. A baby doesn't have that ability. An alligator doesn't have that ability. Like a horse doesn't have that ability. We as humans have another gear. When everything fucking sucks, when everything's difficult, when you fucking hate it, you can go right up here and observe you. You can actually lift and go up here and go, let me see how I'm being in the world. Let me look at how I'm showing up in the world. Let me take responsibility for me. Let me look. And I have to be reminded that that's my home base. So this group tonight might not be for you, it's for me. It's for me to remind myself what my real practice is. When this is all shit, when I look out and go, nobody wants my help anymore. Nobody gives a shit anymore. Everybody's resentful and angry and they all think they're right and they're a bunch of bullshit and I don't got enough money and all that shit. I can still find a place to go. I can go right up here and go, wait, wait, Art. Is your heart open? Are you kind? Are you open? Are you loving? Are you being what you want to see in the world? Are you practicing the values you're asking for other people to practice? What are you doing, Art? We got to actually, it's got to start somewhere. We've got to be look around and find someone that is practicing loving kindness. And I'll say this just to say that's the political climate. Don't show me the person that's practicing loving kindness for the ones that they agree with. Show me the person right now that hates Trump but's trying to love him. Show me the person that hates Biden but's trying to love him. Show me the person that cares about the other side and is trying to open their heart to people they disagree with. You see, not just it's easy for us to get together as Republicans or us to get together as Democrats and practice kindness with each other. But bring someone in that you disagree with and try to have a conversation and see if you can keep your heart open. Bring that family member in, talk to them. You see, this is tough stuff. But for me, this is about what do you got to do right now to open your heart back up? You people on Zoom or anyone in this room, what is your heart closed to? What are you doing? What are you doing that's so special? Name it. Because if you're mad at somebody else, show me your life that's so goddamn special that you are perfect. I've learned through my experiences of everybody ain't art, you know? Everybody ain't you. And if you're proud of yourself and you're righteous about who you are, well, thank God everybody ain't you. And maybe right now, whoever it is that you're resenting, whoever it is that's occupying your mind and taking your presence, I have this nanny that does work for us. Her name's Elizabeth, and this woman stays with my son all day, every day. And Annie's great too. I'm not saying you're not. Elizabeth's just really unique and special in that in order to do what she does 24 hours a day, the way she does it, I already know she has to keep her heart open all day. I never see her like come in with problems about and venting about what somebody did to her, what somebody said to her. It's just this heart that in order to stay present, we have to keep our heart open. When our heart closes, we can't stay present because we are considering what the thing that closed our heart. And to watch her is to watch somebody that I just know has this open heart all the time towards everybody because she keeps it with my son all day. And it's just this thing to watch. It's like incredible to focus. It's like watching an artist that is just totally focused on her painting all the time, never checking her phone, never. And Annie's close. She's pretty good, but Elizabeth's on another level of like, and I just know and I can identify like, oh, she's not hating, she's forgiven everybody today before she got here. She's not resentful in any way. She's not occupied. She is totally present. And so this is just a reminder, and maybe we can help you tonight. And you can say what's wrong, and try to get your heart back open, because I think that we've really become a group of people that are filled with righteousness, me included, filled with righteousness, and we spend most of our days saying how we're right and someone's wrong. And that's just what we do. And we've got about the top 10 complaints in our head that we going about somebody's wrongness. And, if you're a Democrat, then Trump's wrong and Trump's wrong and Trump's wrong and Trump's wrong. And, ICE is wrong. And if you're a Republican, then the purple haired girl is wrong and masks are wrong and whatever you're up to. And we're humans that really, if you go around all day, you might not find a kind look anymore, or a kind gesture, or anyone really, caring about each other. And that's because we all are trying to survive, and we're all closing our hearts and trying to protect ourselves. And mindfulness used to be this really exciting topic that we would do groups on, and people were into it. And now when I teach the kids about mindfulness or anything, they're like, yeah, 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 yeah. You see? Yeah, yeah, yeah. Art, I need to get money and I need to get a car and I need to get my shit. And people are stupid and I'm smart. And if we go up to the living room upstairs at the Kent House at night, I guarantee 100% the conversation's about one or two things: some dumb shit story about on TikTok, one of three things: a dipshit story on TikTok about some dipshit that posted some dipshit story on TikTok. The TikTok dipshit story. Number one, a rapper or some guy that's bought some dipshit car or something that's so awesome because he's a rapper. Or finally, how they're smart and someone's stupid. You will not find another topic of conversation up there. We're not sitting around in a group going, I today made some mistakes with the way I spoke to people. Today the way I handled the situation was wrong and I need to work on those situations. Now, you would think in a recovery group, we would be recovering. But, we've disconnected in the recovery world, just so you guys know, the recovery world has disconnected bad behavior and drug addiction. It don't connect no more. It used to be a deep connection that if you came into recovery, it wasn't just not using drugs. It was wholesale change on who I am as a person. Maybe not because I'm the worst person, but because wholesale change on who I am as a person had massive amount of benefits that came along with it. Like the world showed up different for you when you did that. But I'm telling you, and I'm sorry, kiddos in the program, I don't see many people that think they need wholesale change. I know. I just told Winston before we were here, I said, I want you to do a 1-page paper tonight. Is he in here? Yeah, of course. I said, yeah, I'd like you to write a 1-page paper on how everybody here needs to change and have it for me in the morning. Just write it and tell me how stupid everybody is. He says, coming right up. But everybody can do that. But they can't sit here and see. That's why, for me, I'm going to just rant a little bit now. You guys, recovery was fucking awesome. Early recovery was awesome. It was this experience where I got a piece of paper and I wrote down how I need to change. And I loved it. It was 2011, man. I was reaping the benefits of recovery. It was so cool. It was this page of paper that I wrote down and I said, here's how I need to change. And it was awesome because I made those changes. And then people started acknowledging outside. They go, Art, you've changed. And so I kept going. 2012, 2013, 2014. And Angie, I met her. And then in 3 years after I met her, she goes, "Oh, Art, you've changed." She told me because I kept my practice. Now, if you're in recovery and you're sitting in this room and you can't fucking tell me how you've changed, fuck off. Seriously. It means shit. It means nothing. It means you stopped using drugs. It's not recovery, it's abstinence. And that's only so long. Where's your piece of paper? Where are you talking about wholesale change? And if you're a family member, if you're anybody, how are you going to improve your life if you don't change? So when we have Solution Group, nobody brings their fucking paper here and goes, "Hey, Art, I'd like to go over some things." You came here tonight because you're going, "Somebody in my fucking life needs to change, and I hope Art tells me how to get him to fucking do it." That's it. That's why. And then, oh, maybe Art will get on someone tonight and tell, and somebody will put their head on the chopping block and he'll fucking change them. That'll be fun. But it ain't me. I'm drone here tonight to let you know I'm perfect, and what I thought about today was how everybody needs to change. That's it. Let's get real. You ain't got no list. Okay, what are your character defects? You don't got that. Well, that's what it used to be about. That was what solutions were. That's what it was, and it was fun. And I'm not saying that listen, I still got the list. And maybe I ignore mine now. I do. I'm coming here tonight to tell you I've been ignoring my list for a while lately. And I've been doing it, so I know. And maybe this is a reminder that this is a recovery meeting. And what that means is that I ain't here for someone else. I'm here to say maybe there's some things that I participated in that made things worse, and I didn't make them better. And I can grab everyone in this room and everyone on Zoom, and I can say, I know you can write a paper about what's wrong with the world. Can you fix one thing? That's the question. I know you can go up to Safeway and make everybody's fucking day worse. I know you can. Everyone can. You can go up there and say you hate people and you hate this and you disagree with that. You can complain about that. But can you go up Safeway and make someone smile? Do you know how? Can you bring an open heart and joke with people and say, "Hey, how you doing today?" Or is your heart closed and you walk into Safeway and wonder if you're in there with Republicans or Democrats? Which one? Am I safe? You know what it means nowadays, safe space? If you're a Democrat, it means you're with Democrats. If you're a Republican, it means you're with Republicans. That's what safe space means from here on in. That's it. It don't mean shit about nothing else. Republicans go, "Are we safe?" There's no liberals here, right? Okay, let's talk. Let's say how stupid those liberals are. And if a Democrat is in a room, liberals in a room, they say, "There's no racist Republicans in this room, right?" That's it. And we've called it a game. We've called it a life. And we can't work on the other side of the aisle. No one's going, we don't have leaders anymore that go, "I'm voted as a Democratic leader. I should try to win over the Republicans. What I'll do is I'll go try to win the other side over and listen to them." Nope. No, I'm in charge now. And the Republicans are doing the same thing. We get the numbers, we run all our shit, we don't listen to the other side, we don't take any questions from the press, we close our hearts. We're right, they're wrong. And there it is. So we can, for me, what mindfulness meant was I want to be present throughout my days. I want to enjoy the current thing that's going on in my life. In order to do so, I have to learn to keep my heart open. And once I have to keep my heart open, I have to be open to the possibility that I'm wrong. I have to be open to the possibility of talking to people that I disagree with and opening back up and getting rid of my resentments and dealing with my relationships one by one. And knowing, just feeling when I'm in a conversation with people, whether my heart's closed or whether it's open. I sit at the poker table and I make a lot of jokes. And it's amazing. You guys, you don't even know. When I sit at a poker table with 9 guys, I make jokes all day. I'm running the table all the day. Sometimes I'm angry and I make a joke. No one likes the joke. It's funny, but I'm angry and no one likes it. And when I'm not angry and I make a joke, everybody laughs. They know. They know when my heart is closed and I'm against them, and they know when my heart is open and I'm for them. And they can feel my energy, and they will either follow my lead or turn against me. And when I'm at a poker table, I already know. And I get beaten a hand and I get angry and then I make a joke about somebody. Nobody likes it. It turns everyone against me. And when I open my heart and I say, hey, and I'm happy and joyous and free, and I make the same joke, people go, that's funny. I go, "Oh." And it all depends on whether I'm against people or not, whether my heart's open to them. And I've learned I can't deal with people with a closed heart. It never works. It's 100% failure rate. So if you think you're going to talk to somebody when your heart is closed and you're going to make a difference in the relationship, you're wrong. Your heart is closed because you're protecting yourself. And you're protecting yourself because you think you're right and they're wrong. And you're saying, I'm going to plead my case to you and I'm hoping you apologize to open my heart back up. So I'm going to tell you how wrong you are because my heart's closed. That's going to get this negative energy outside of me because I'm going to vent it on you and tell you how wrong you are. And my hope is that you respond in kind and go, you're right. I'm so wrong and you're right. And then I'm free again. But that's not the way it works, is it? I vent on the person and they go, yeah, that's not, they defend themselves. And they say, you're crazy. And then I go harder and my heart closes more. And so, what is this? For me, I had to learn this when I dealt with people and my heart was closed and I was against them and I was trying to make them wrong and me right. It never worked. You have to be very forceful and brutal for that to work. You've got to be in a real position of dominance. Then it kind of works, but no one likes you. They just do it, you know. I used to always look at that boss that came out on the floor and yelled at everybody, and then everybody did what he said. And I was like, I can't wait to be that guy. But nobody likes that guy. That's just force. So, tonight for me, this is it. Tonight, as I came here tonight, I rode over here in the car and my heart was closed when I got in the car, and I vented to my wife all the way over here about how stupid everybody is and how smart I am and what a victim I was. And once I got that energy out, I kind of came back to the reminder that, oh, I'm not practicing. I'm not paying attention to me. I'm not paying attention to my own heart. And I just slipped away weeks of my life. And I built up a list of complaints about how stupid everybody is and about how smart I am. And lo and behold, if I look around, there's not the progress in my life that I thought there should be. And there's a reason for that. And so I just like to remind people what solutions are and what it really means to have a solution. It means to have a place to go that you're ultimately responsible for yourself and responsible for everything that happens in your life. I recently been working with a organization called The More We Love. And it's a great organization, but the title of it is the organization helps women of domestic violence, victims of domestic violence. And, you know, trying to find a way to say this. When I hear that, I wanted to go to the shelter and I wanted to find the baby bird. I wanted to find the bruised mother huddled with her three children, shaking because I wanted to grab her and bring her back to my house and protect her. I didn't find that. I find people that I find anger and closed hearts and really bad decisions and all that too. All that there too. So when I am a victim or anyone is, I'm not saying there's not victimization. I'm saying there's a big difference from people being victimized and people living their life with a closed heart like a victim. And maybe the people that have been victimized, a lot of people that have been victimized can open their heart back up and not be a victim, and can take responsibility for how they are behaving going forward. So, all of us have that in us, this ability to look up above us, even regardless of what are the things that have happened in our life and what we've been through, and say, I could do things differently going forward. I got control of this thing, And if I look back and see, I've been in some bad spots, and, I drove the car there, and I shouldn't drive the car there anymore. I wasn't like working at Pizza Hut when this happened to me. I wasn't, I wasn't at my job at the ice cream stand. I've been trying. I look in this room and I try to find the victim, and I can't. Who's the victim in this room? Isn't that weird? We look around and we can't find the victim in this room. But guess what? Today, in our heads, we all played that role for a little while. But now we all tell each other, you're not a victim. What the hell are you talking about, man? I saw what you did. I saw what you said to him. I've never been punched in the mouth and thought I didn't deserve it. That's a good thing. Yeah.
Mentioned about your paper that you did, about how you could improve yourself and change yourself.
Yes.
I think that would be an astonishingly effective thing for you to assign all of your people to do, and come back to a solutions meeting if they want to, and read it out loud and have some accountability.
Wait, just go into your thing and pull your paper out, Marlisa. I want to see what you wrote down. Well, no, I know.
But
This isn't, but again, this isn't this is a point. This isn't an assignment. It's a lifestyle. This is a lifestyle. This is a lifestyle to say, I just had an interaction with a human being. And when I leave that interaction with this human being, I can go one of two ways. I can be present and leave that interaction with a human being, or I can't. Now, I had an interaction with this human being, and what I've left with is I feel wronged, or I feel it didn't go the way I needed it to go, or it wasn't a good interaction. Now, in our lifestyle, when we want to be present again and when we have a practice, what we then acknowledge is since I've left that interaction, I have an inability to be present in the current activity that I'm doing. Something has occupied my mind. Now I have one of two choices once again. Either I feel responsible and I can look at myself and see what I did wrong to cause that interaction, or I can spend the rest of the day feeling like a victim. And once I've now determined either, hey, wait, there's something I need to do to release myself back to presence, to open my heart back up, I now decide I must go back and complete this interaction with this human. And when I go back, it's better to have opened my heart back up to what I did wrong, to be able to confront that situation in a non-confrontational way, but rather in a non-accusatory way, but a seeking of an understanding way, so that I can actually, the purpose is so that I can be present again and open my heart back up. So it's a priority to say, I have to look at myself because it's the only way that I can interact with human beings, because I want to have an open heart and I want to be present. But what I keep doing when I'm not present and I've had a bad interaction is I keep going back to that person and blaming them for the interaction. And I tell them why they were wrong and I was right. And that never completes the interaction, because the person defends themselves and says, F off, and never says, I'm sorry for what I did. And then you leave more pissed off, and it never works. And no one has ever come back to you and said, hey, in that interaction we just had, you were all wrong and I was right. I need you to apologize. And we went, yeah. So to understand, when we prioritize presence first, and secondly, we prioritize an open heart, when we get back to that, it requires more of us. And in that requirement, it requires an observational ability to be cause in the matter, to say, I get why they treated me that way. I get it. I get it. I'm self-aware enough to understand that I was a little condescending or I was a little bit this. And my heart was a little closed when I dealt with them. And it doesn't work when my heart's closed. I can tell you that I'm 100%. I've never left an interaction and went, oh, I just don't know why I got treated that way. Never. Never. I've never left an interaction like that. I went, I understand myself enough to go, yeah, I pushed the button. I was passive. I was aggressive. At the very least, I can go, yeah, I can see why that person don't like me. At the very least, almost any time I've been mistreated, I can go, I can see why they wouldn't like me. I can see why I'd come off a little rough. I can see myself. I've never, ever left an interaction going, oh, people are just so rude. That's fucking nuts. So it's a lifestyle to say this observatory position that I sit in is the only position I can sit in that will release me from these resentments. It's the only one. That if I don't observe myself, this thing called an ego or this thing called a voice in my head, this thing will talk to me about my rightness. It will speak to me about my rightness all day if I let it. I can just drive around and I can enjoy I can really get comfortable with it and enjoy it's like, they should not treat you like this way. They shouldn't have said that to you. And how could they do that to you? And you kind of just go, yeah. And you get with that. And you can let that voice run all day if you want. And we do. But to be able to go, wait, you shut up. This isn't helping. I don't want to be right here. I want to have an open heart. And I don't want to sit here and talk about how this person is bad and I'm good. I actually want to be responsible for the relationship and I want to make it better. Well, now I got to take a look. And this shouldn't, to be honest, this is on the fly stuff. When I mean the piece of paper, what I mean is like you better get your credit fixed and you owe some people money. But this lifestyle thing is like judging your day by the quality of your interactions with other humans. And going, how many negative reactions with humans did you have yesterday? Okay, you had 4. They're all fucking your fault. I give you 100% guarantee. If you need me to sit down with you and show you what an asshole you are, I will. And anyone, I promise you, can sit down with me and tell me what an asshole I am, and I will never fucking disagree. Never. So it's that simple. No one's in this room's a victim. We're causing every interaction that we cause, and we're causing it with looks. We're causing it with eye rolls. We're causing it with passive aggressive. We're causing it with cues that we don't know we're causing. We're causing it. We get treated exactly the way we're supposed to be treated. I believe that. That allows me to sleep at night. Maybe you don't believe that. Well, that'd be a rough world for you, your delicate flower ass, to walk around in. But me, I ain't no delicate flower, and I get treated exactly. When I have a good day and my heart is open, boy, the world treats me well. And when I have a bad day and my heart's closed, boy, the world don't treat me that good. And I start having problematic relationships real quick. And so, is your heart open? Is your mind free? And are you in this observer position? And can you have the ability to be present right now? And if you're considering the behavior of someone else, I ask you one thing: is your heart open? Is your heart open, or do you feel against them? If you feel against them and you feel there's somehow an object that needs to change and you feel against them and your heart doesn't feel for them, you can't help them. You are disqualified. You can't help because you're against them. You can't help them with your words. You might be able to help them in some other different form. Okay, open. Anyone need to open their heart?
Over here.
You see, Matt is he's easy to, let me say, he's very easy to label something. So if I want Matt to change, and then I think that that he's not enough or he's not doing enough, and if I label him either lazy or I label him something, the label helps me kind of feel safe or right. But to be honest, if I really want to open my heart, then I go, I don't understand Matt. Okay. So if I don't understand Matt, then what is my move in helping Matt? Well, it would be to understand Matt. And then now you got to go down a whole different road. And you know, that's a different road. If I want to help Mikey, for instance, and I go, hey Mikey, I got you all figured out, you're just this. You just need to stop being this. Well, you know, and Mikey goes, thanks, Art. I fucking glad you told me on this. I'm gonna change. Or if I go, you know, fuck, man, I don't understand Mikey. I don't understand what he's going through. I don't understand it at all. Shit. And I'm not saying that works. I'm saying Matt and Mikey are pretty unique. There are some people, some kids that I go, they're that. Like, you know, they're fucking that. That's a brat or that's that, you know. So open heart. Do you know the difference? Well, when I feel against, see, right now, the Grubs are in a situation where there's two closed hearts working. Am I correct still? Am I correct that your heart, I'm not saying your heart's closed to her. I'm saying it's closed, sure, hers is closed to you, correct? It is. And what do you think that's due to? If you had to go, okay, our daughter's heart's closed. We sometimes feel against her too. It's kind of a push-pull situation. It's not going to be solved with love. What would you attribute that to?
Well, meaningful communication for 3 weeks, so that's a long time, and she has a lot of thoughts in her head, so I don't think I could say.
Well, the reason why I'm even going down the road is I want to. You said you hadn't had any meaningful conversation in 3 weeks. Are you sure it's only been 3 weeks? How long has it been since you've had meaningful conversation?
7 years.
There you go. There's the answer we're looking for. So, because it's been 7 years of inauthentic conversation, probably more accurate, where we didn't get to the heart of the matter and there was a game on top of the conversation. The game was, you guys, I depend on you guys, but I'm going to act like I don't, and you need to supplement my lifestyle no matter how I behave. And we're going to play this game of I'm trying, but I'm not trying because you're more responsible than I am. And if you challenge me in any format, I will bite the hand hard that feeds me, and you're going to have to take it and still keep feeding me. Okay. So when that game's been at play for that long, then we're put in a position where we can't really deal with it with an open heart because the open heart gets stomped on. So now we've had to take this mode that's put you in where you're at in the last 3 weeks. I'm explaining it to you to say, I know exactly where you're at. And now we're going to have to open the heart back up on your parts to say there is a feeling of objective againstness, that she's a mountain and we're pushing a mountain, and that we want to force things, but we're going to have to change from force to power. And that's coming. I just haven't got you to that part yet. You see? So we had to do this in a power grab, and then, because we set a precedent. We set a precedent and we allowed a game to be played for so long that now when we changed that precedent, there was inevitable that she was going to close our heart and not talk to us. Anyways, yeah.
I've got a quick question. If is
Our local celebrity, Corey, by the way.
Is
I'm signing autographs outside.
success in your recovery like a dangerous thing?
Success?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You mean like
You mean thinking you're a star?
no.
Thinking your words are impacting the world? Well, they are.
I'm hoping.
Okay, they might be.
But I'm saying that for that reason, just because like if recovery is going so good, I feel like that can be
Well, listen.
dangerous if it's too fast or if it's, you know what I mean? You said recovery is like so much fun, you know what I mean, right? It's supposed to feel really good, but if it feels too good, can that be dangerous?
Well, yeah, when you score a touchdown, you know what you do with the football?
Celebrity dance.
No. When you score a touchdown, you hand the ball to the referee and you act like you've been there before.
Okay.
Yeah. And when you and when you fumble the football, you act like you've been there before and it's okay. And so, I always tell people, where we want to stay in recovery, Corey, we want to stay right here. Okay. When bad shit happens and we do things wrong, we don't want to touch. See, somebody's going along in life and they buy what it's called equanimity. And when you practice mindfulness, what you learn is you don't want it to look different. If I come here tonight, if I come home and my wife sees me after playing poker and I'm walking into the house, and she goes, "Oh, you lost." And I go, "Yeah, and the house is a mess, and I kicked the dog, and then that ain't it." And if I come home after a win and I go, wake up, we're fucking no, it's all the same. Listen, all this shit's all the same. I've been telling people for years. I buy a house and it feels like this. I lose a house and it feels like this. Everybody loves me for years. Everybody one day will tell me, "Oh, Art, you're so great at helping people and you're awesome." And then the next day I do the fucking same thing and they go, "Oh, you're just a money hungry piece of shit." And I'm like, I just went and had breakfast and did this. That's just how it is. And so, that's the thing in recovery, is to gain that stability and go, I don't care. I was thinking about Kenny. He's got to turn himself in or whatever. I was like, so it feels like this. You think everybody else is over here going, "Oh, I'm not going to jail, and look at how happy I am." And they're not. They're not. Everyone's going, "Oh, my life sucks and I got to go do this tomorrow and I hate this." And it feels like this. So has life always ever not felt like this? Like, no matter what, it feels like this. And you can't even, and we think like someday we're going to do something and it's going to feel like that. No, it ain't. No, it ain't. No, it ain't, Your mom dies, your grandma dies, sucks, and then it feels like this. And there's these little bursts of like, woo, woo. But in reality, it's this. And then the question is, throughout your day, Corey, are you observing yourself? Are you going, "Hey, I'm getting a little too arrogant about this," or "I'm attaching a little too much about this," or "I'm putting too much emphasis on this," or am I letting that go and I'm present to what I'm doing next? What's next? What's next? Okay. Okay, I was interviewed by Sam Quinones, but okay, now I look at my bank account and there's $2. Okay, well, fuck, now I got to get money. Okay, these people think I'm real cool, but this person thinks I suck. Okay, you know, it's always just like this. You know, I go, okay, shit, I just lost a lot of money in a poker game. Oh, but my son's going to be there when I get home. Okay, keep your open heart and hug him. It's this observatory position that we have to be reminded to get back into because we forget. Because we can go hours, days, weeks with never taking a look at ourselves.
Always looking at it.
Always looking, and it can go for forever. And we just go, wait, I haven't took a look and seen and readjusted and got here with myself in forever. And today was this for me, like, oh man, I've been on it, man. I've been on what a victim I am to my own life. I've been on what a victim I am to people. I've been on it, man. And then once you remember, you see that you haven't been present and you've been on it once again, you're there, you're back in that place again. You see, that's the thing about presence. Once you realize you haven't been present, you're present. It's just, oh shit, I wasn't present. Here I am. Here I am. Oh, where'd I go? Here I am. Oh shit, where'd I go there? Here I am. It's that thing where we get in a car, where we're right, you pick up your friend and your friend gets in the car. It's so deep. It's mind-blowingly deep. Your friend gets in the car and you go, hey man, where are you at? Well, he's clearly sitting in the car with you, but his head is elsewhere and you know it. And you're in the car with him. And see, that guy has a closed heart and his head is elsewhere and he's not doing the work. And you got to go, tell me, man, offload that shit off your mind. Get rid of those resentments. Get that shit out. You ain't nothing. And then he gets them off and speaks, and all of a sudden, whoa, I'm released. So I drove over here tonight and I got it out, and I get out of the car and I'm released. I'm free. And I go, that's what I was looking for the whole time. It wasn't to fix all those problems that were in my head. It was the release. The problems are still there. I can go back to those problems right now. They still exist, but they're not real. See, it's when you wake up in the middle of the night and you obsess about somebody and you're going to get up tomorrow at 8 and call them and tell them and have that conversation and speak your mind. And then you wake up at 8 and you go, what the fuck? That was nothing. What am I all worked up about? It's that. It's reminded that we're in recovery. And what that means is that I need to recover. I need my heart to be open. I need my mind to be free. I need to look at this person not as an object in my life, but somebody that's my loved one. And then understand that we're all just souls trapped in here. You're trapped in your experience and you can't get out. And I'm trapped in my experience and I can't get out. And if I was in your experience, I'd probably feel and do the same things you're doing. So I'm going to have a little compassion, a little understanding of that. Go, oh, whoa, what it's like to be trapped in that experience that you're trapped in right now. It's crazy. Tell me about it. But we think we know. Oh, I know everything about your experience because I have had my experience. And you're this and you're that, and I've already got you labeled, and I'm right and you're wrong. And that's what our head tells us. And that's why our hearts close. So for me, it was a great time in 2012 and I didn't stop mindfulness practice until the last couple of years. I gave it up. Like I didn't need it anymore. I don't need that shit anymore. I got it all. If I get angry, they deserve it. But I need it again. Because the problems that we're trying to fix can't be fixed. And if I wait to be happy and present until those are fixed, I'm not going to be happy and present anymore. I got to figure out a way to get joy and get my heart back open and love my son. And in this world where everyone needs to change but me. So, okay.
Hey, Angela, let's get you unmuted.
I hope she lets me tell her how wrong she is.
Yeah, you can tell me that. No,
Well, that's wrong. Don't be that way.
I remember a few years back, you helped me with a coworker, and everything you said tonight resonates back to that time. And I know there's still a lot more change I need to do, but I've taken your advice and I feel like I'm not as judgmental. I don't feel like I'm judgmental of people anymore because of your advice. So, yeah, I do have a lot to work on because I struggle with the father of my children because there's no meeting him halfway. And I finally took your advice and moved out because I couldn't live in that circumstance anymore. I tried to get him on board with Battlefield for many reasons. Not just the fact that you helped me deal with my son's addiction, but you helped me become a better person. So for that, I appreciate it.
Thank you, Angela. I want to simplify it, and this isn't a list of understanding how we need to change is not it's not like we put ourselves under what do you call when you put a building under the scaffolding? It's not like we're putting ourselves under scaffolding and say we're going to work. That's not it at all. It's simply the changes. It's a simple process of going, number one, I want to be present. And number two, I want to open my heart. And when I then go, okay, that's what I want out of life is I want to keep my heart open and I want to stay present. What happens is in order for me to get back with that person that I had a bad interaction with and I didn't get along with, I have to acknowledge how I got in that predicament with the person. So, in order for me to approach the person, I've had to kind of look at myself and identify in that scenario, maybe I was passive aggressive, or maybe I was this, or maybe I was that. And I was too much of this or too little of that in that scenario. And so I'd like to tell you that I was a little too much of this or I was a little too much of that. And then and then maybe next time you don't do that again. You don't be a little too much of this or a little too much of that because you stay kind of observing yourself. But you might fail and you might become too much of this or too much of that. It's just the acknowledgement. It's just that. It's saying, hey, I can acknowledge that the reason we got into difficulty and the reasons these resentments occurred is because I was a little too much of this. But we can even close our hearts to ourselves. And we can go, God, I'm this and I need to change, and I'm that and I need to change. That's not it. I need to keep an open heart. That's it. Now, try to keep an open heart. Everything else will follow. So just ask yourself with this particular coworker, with this particular family member, with this particular person, is my heart closed or open? And if it's closed, open it. And if you can't, talk to them. And when you talk to them, acknowledge your behavior too. Don't just acknowledge theirs, and then it's over. Then you go. There you go. So this came through, not this, for me, it wasn't this scaffolding that I had to put myself under. It was this acknowledgement of how I got into predicaments and how relationships and conversations went south and how I no longer wanted those to go south. It was years of helping somebody and going at them and attacking them and then realizing, oh, I just accused them of being this and this and this. And then they fired back at me and now we're lost and I'm in no position and I was too much of this or too much of that. And then I began to go, next time I go approach that person, I'm going to be a little more gentle or a little more this or a little more that. And then you improve. And you improve by observation. And the measurement is simply whether you can keep your heart open and keep successful in these relationships or not. And people, if you go in your relationships at work or your coworkers or everyone, use them as a mirror. How many of your coworkers do you get along with? Then you go, well, there's this one, but nobody gets along. No. Why don't you get along with everyone? Well, because they're an asshole. No, that's not it. Because your goal is to keep an open heart. So just keep an open heart. Then you'll have to deal with assholes, but you'll have to learn about them and not just call them that. You'll have to actually do the work of being responsible for that. Yeah, I could easily look at the people in my program and go, I'm done with that person. But listen, at Battlefield Addiction, we've never been done with anyone. Imagine that. I've been doing this for 15 years and nobody's out. Everybody's included, including people who tried to take down my life. People literally tried to kill me, and they're still my friend. Everybody's still in, nobody's out. Nobody's done nothing that disqualifies them from being treated with kindness and forgiveness. Nobody. And that's what we're doing here. And that's the result of us keeping an open heart and trying to understand people and not just go, you're bad, we're all good, you're exiled. It's to go, oh, you did that, but you can change and you can grow. And thank God we're here because we're an organization that wants people that helps people change and grow. So good news, we don't got a bunch of perfect people here because we'd be out of business. We're people here that understand, God, we're all bigger than the worst thing we've ever done. We're all bigger than that. And I've done some pretty bad things. So I'm glad I'm just a little bigger than the worst thing I ever done because hopefully I can move forward. Anyways, that was my therapy tonight. So I'm going to get my practice back. You know, I've got my heart closed to a lot of things and not people. I'm pretty good at that. I got my heart closed to situations and I got my heart closed to like fictitious people. They don't really exist. I don't know them, but I know they're out there. You know? You know what I mean? They're out there and they fucking suck and they all need to change. I don't know any of their names. Yes. Oh man. Listen, if you want to go on listen, I pick up books now and I hate them all. I can't find anything, but there's nothing as beautiful as picking up a journey and going a 3-book journey and take this journey. Take Power Now and read it. When you're done reading Power Now, read Untethered Soul. When you're done with Untethered Soul, read A New Earth. And go 1, 2, 3 for me, and there it is.
Seat of the soul.
Huh?
Seat of the soul is it?
No, I never read that one.
Oh, you should.
Yeah, no. For me, Untethered Soul had it nailed. They all had it nailed, and those were the books. To me, those were the books that I had to. Those are the books I gave away on Christmas. People got books from me for Christmas. Those are the books that actually did it. I go book after book right now in self-help world, and it's just all the same shit, repeating what they said 20 years ago. So I don't. I haven't found any. I haven't found that new thing. And huh? Oh, yeah. Internal family systems is pretty damn good. That's probably been the one that got me after all those. What time is it? Oh, leadership and self-deception.
But just.
Yeah. I forgot Brad Bland's book on radical honesty is just come on. Brad Bland on radical honesty. I mean, that shit, that guy has it nailed.
We used to spend reading this and it got disappeared on Facebook. I don't know. I can't find it together.
Listen.
Yeah.
Listen, I just want to remind people there is this, I told the kids the other day, and I think I said you're here to landscape your mind. I believe that that's what recovery is about. I believe, and I don't believe recovery has anything, and I believe it's available to anyone. I believe that most people in the world, if not all people, should be in a recovery program. Because we start out as a kid and we can play. Okay? So we can all play as a kid, which means we were present until mom called and said, you got to come in, and turned off the lights. And that day we played. We didn't resent all day. We didn't worry about the future. We didn't worry about the past and what we did. We just played. And then there became a time where worry became involved and reputation became involved. And we had to tell people that they said the wrong thing about us and they got us all wrong. And we had to defend ourselves and we had to defend who we thought we were compared to who they said we were. And we went down a road of being inauthentic. And we went down this road of trying to be something that we're not. We didn't try to be present. We tried to improve upon our reputation. And we really worried about that. And our worrying about our reputation, whether it's at work or with our family or whatever, allowed us to not play anymore. So we don't have joy anymore because we're too worried about what they said or what I look like or if my bills are paid or if I can survive or if I'm going to get sick or whatever it is that we got going. And so recovery is when we realize that and we go back to trying to play again. And we say, now it's time to figure out how I can get joy and play again, even though all these problems are still going to exist for the whole ride out and I'm never going to be able to fix them. And so recovery means my head is overgrown like the backyard of a home, and it's overgrown with worry and concern and resentment and anger and wrongness and rightness and all that. And in order for me to be present, I have to like start whacking down some of these bushes and either taking care of some of these things and dealing with people and folks and getting rid of my resentments. And I need to start being honest and authentic about how I really feel to people. And I got to quit being passive aggressive and I got to quit being certain ways that get me into more predicaments. And I got to be more straightforward and caring. And I got to open my heart and say to people, hey, I don't like what you said to me. It really hurt my feelings. And I just want to talk about it. And I'm not accusing you of anything, but my feelings are hurt. And I just want to let you know. And we got to start like chopping down some of this stuff. And that's recovery, is to say, hey, me and you, we got to work it out. We got to quit making each other wrong. And I got to quit blaming you and you got to quit blaming me. And let's work on this stuff. And we have a lot of overgrown bushes up here that we need to really get dealt with. And that's why the steps were always important in recovery, is because steps 4 or 5 were about listing those resentments and talking about them with the people that we needed to see. And 6, 7 were about our character defects. And then 8 and 9 was a realization that in all my relationships, I kind of got myself in all these predicaments. And I saw the way I was being. And I look, and if I see the way I'm being, if I really look at how I'm being, not what I'm saying, but how I said it, where it came from. See, it's not what I said at the poker table, it's where it came from. And when it comes from a mean place, people don't like me. And when it comes from a nice place and an open place, they laugh. And I said the same thing. And Angie always says to me, boy, you can get away with saying anything to anybody. Yes, because a long time ago, I identified that I can say anything to anybody as long as it comes from an open heart. People will accept what I'm saying if they feel it comes from love. And if it comes from a different place, I can't say anything. I'll start getting myself jammed up. So for me tonight, it was a reminder, and hopefully it's a reminder to you that we have this location here that we can start clearing space. So being present is the first move to push back some of the shrubbery and then take a look at really what's overgrown in your head. And then and then begin to start dealing with that stuff and going, I need more space in here. I mean, have you ever kind of noticed that you need more space in your head? It needs to be more spacious, and that it's kind of getting overgrown by who's wrong and how you're right. And that's kind of the thing. And then it's even those people that are struggling in our life that we care deeply about. How do we keep an open heart and not feel victimized by them and stay with them in that fight and understand them? How do we do that? And how is it? Because it feels so personal when those people are failing. It feels so personal. And for those of you that are struggling and your family is struggling to be with you, please recognize that side of it too. It feels so personal when you're the one that's caring and want to pull somebody out of something and want to see them do better. And it just feels that way. So give them some grace when they get mad at you, because they're not mad at you. They're mad that the situation continues to dominate them. it's a very dominating situation to try to keep your open heart and help people that are struggling, especially when you're paying sometimes for this stuff and you're doing it. So it's on both sides of this fence. The question has always remained, can we keep our heart open and can we find joy again in the midst of all the wrongness in the world right now that we're currently protecting ourselves from? Well, thank you.
Thank you, everybody. Good night, good night. We'll see you Saturday, Run for Recovery. Thank you, and everybody can come at 7 a.m. We'll see you there, Grosvenor Parks.